Alrighty, welcome back to the regional final presented by Sideline Sports Network. Akron takes on Maryland in a best of 7 here tonight. Is again now a spot tomorrow's final four, $50 on the line, guaranteed for a top 4 finish.
This should be a good one. At least that's my hope. Akron Gold, seemingly a different beast when it comes down to CCS, but Maryland, they have had I would say for their standards, a pretty successful season through not just CCS, but through CRL and through the LAN, through BBB that they have played in. And I think that they've shown a lot of improvement as a roster. And I think that honestly, Hexy is playing some of the best Rocket League that I've seen them play to date. So hopefully should be a good matchup between these two, and a real struggle for Akron as they make their way through the bracket. But again, they own this league, they run it. Can they be stopped at all? Maryland is the next one to pose that question here to what is this Akron dynasty forming.
Yeah, and dynasty is a great way to put it. 3 straight national titles, but Maryland's a good test for Akron, I feel like. And, you know, again, Akron's going to have their hands full tomorrow, shall they advance, whether it's Florida or South Carolina. But, you know, Akron is Akron, Maryland is Maryland. They've gotten Cozy P this season, and he's been a big improvement. And, you know, Waiters is also really good. They've been a good roster for a long time. But, you know, this new level of Maryland that we've seen this fall has been really entertaining to watch. And I think Akron's about to have their hands full here in what should be a long series.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a game 6 is kind of the minimum here. I think that Maryland is a team that has the same type of punch-up ability as Akron Gold. I mean, Maryland at BBB had an opportunity to eliminate both St. Clair programs from that tournament. They ended up taking St. Clair to 5, and all of those goals, I believe, being 1-goal games. So they can punch up to some of the best teams in the country, and I think that Akron Gold is right up there with the upper echelon of teams in Collegiate Rocket League. And Maryland, I think, is poised to take on the task. And through the opening 2 minutes, while Akron can be a very defensive team, we usually see at least something fall through on the way of offense for Akron Gold by this point in the game, and may just be here off the long shot. Turtle will be back in time and play the bounce low down out to Cozy P. They look for their first transition play. Turtle rips a shot from almost the midfield stripe, but it will not fall through. And quick trade of blows to go back and forth before we hit halftime, but still scoreless on both sides.
AMU survives Pittsburgh in overtime. It is, I believe, Game 7. I'm not quite exactly sure, waiting on the final score to come in, but I do know James Madison did win. But I don't know what the final score is. But nonetheless, they'll take on Ball State here off broadcast. That shot from Maryland, no good. It was Hexy on the mark, but big-time save from Milio. We play on somber, half the game gone, and we're still tied at 0. This has been an entertaining first half here.
Big demo from Oxy. Milio being chased down on no boost. Yon plays it down below with the pop shot. Has the double, will find it through, and takes almost 3 minutes of Rocket League played here in game number 1, but they will find the opening goal. Jonathan just dimes it up for themselves off the crossbar and gets that one to go. And now Maryland fighting through a deficit in the final 2 minutes.
2-minute drill from Maryland. And, you know, we talk all season when we watch this team play about, you know, the ability of Hexy Hero Ball. And he can put his team on his back and go big when he needs to in the biggest moments. And now today, the furthest Maryland's ever been in the CCS championships. What does this roster have in store for the regional final? Is there any hope or chance they can contend with Akron for a long series here? Or else, you know, it starts with Hexy, sure, but this roster has got to step up, and they've got to be on their best game if they're going to contend with a 3-time defending national champion roster of Akron.
I think in the same vein that we see the Hexy Hero Ball come out, they are the big-time offense starter. They are the fire starter for this offensive system that Maryland has put together. And I think just as much as you would like to see Hexy just fully dialed in, as the Akron backline makes a few mistakes, we're back to equal. But with Hexy and Cozy P kind of being your 2 offensive guys, as we see Cozy P open up the scoring for the Terps here, I think Turtle needs to be that backline hero that they've been shown that they can be, and they need to play to that level off rip, and you need to be on your A game from start to finish if you're Maryland here to even make this Akron Gold roster shake just a little bit, but they're doing well by finding the equalizer. Hexy might find the double tap down and in. Hexy does find the second and the go ahead here for Maryland.
And Maryland, a 2-0 run at Hexy, and there's the the offensive striker we're looking for. The double for Hexy makes it 2-1, and now the Terps in front. How long will the lead hold?
We'll see after kickoff. Akron Gold could get a little fancy here, but it will be just a standard kickoff. Finds its way out to Milio. Milio, full tank of boost, burns through all of it. Hexy, nice little double tap off their own back wall to clear that one out. Turtle to carry the ball downfield, and now Oxy, ceiling reset, has the musty, but we'll play it back down with a wave dash catch. Looks for the 50, and we'll find the pinch off the hood of the opponent's car, and now Jan back down mid. Will be cleared away, and Hexy, low boost, will concede the foot race out to Oxy, and now Turtle free jumping at the mid, gets demoed out of the skies, goes top right but will not find it. Jonathan rebound, no good as well, and now Oxy looking to fight through this final 30 seconds. Cozy P, not the best, but Turtle will get the touch out past the midfield line. Jonathan, another shot, looking for Milio off the backboard. It will not fall through. Hexy bumped now. This one awkward on the back line, and Oxy will finally find it to cross the finish line, and we're back to equal.
You can never count out Akron in late game situations to tie games up, and all 6 of these players have just the mechanical ability to take over a play and make a big play happen offensively. So I think we're going to be in for probably some low-scoring games, I'd imagine, because the defense is usually really good. But again, I would not be shocked to see a couple just out of our minds mechanical masterclasses that lead to late-game goals and close tie-game situations.
0-second drill is on for a brief moment, but the pinch 50 will find its way into the corner and on the ground, and we see overtime here in game 1, and be expected in what should be a very, very close matchup between these two teams. Hexy, flip a reset, won't be able to find the second follow-up. Jonathan with a big dunk will find its way to the Maryland back wall, as defense given a little bit of a second here before the Akron offense sets up. Cozy P, 10 boost in the tank out of the corner, fights through a 50. Hexy, awkward, but we'll find a touch and a couple more to boot off the follow-through. Oxy, backwards, wants to keep possession here in the Maryland half. Milio plays it back down with a 50. Jonathan able to come in, take control, and look for a shot. Cozy P on the back line will swat it away, and we continue on through overtime.
1 minute into the extra period, a shot there from Oxy won't go as Jonathan trying to build pressure on the red side. A big pinch from Hexy will get a lot of pressure relieved from Maryland. But Somber, what a game it's been here in game 1. Overtime in a really close situation, and Akron had to strike late to get this game back to level again. But this Maryland roster is competing at a high level.
Yeah, again, Hexy has been playing some of the best ball that we've seen all season, and I mean, even possibly throughout their entire collegiate career so far, they have been steadily improving, and I think that they are hitting a new peak here. And again, the team cohesion has been the biggest improvement throughout this season. Maryland looked a little bit shaky with Cozy P as the new entry into the roster here for fall, but they have seemingly figured things out, and now taking the 3-time defending national championship Akron Gold roster to a game 1 overtime, and a deep overtime at that. These are usually series where Akron in the past has found a foothold early and didn't let go, and this one actually might fall the way through. A poor 50 coming out from Akron, and Cozy P capitalizes and will come through for the dunk, the perfect arc on it to go on in, and Maryland steal game 1.
Maryland get game 1 away from Akron, and the Terps leading 1-0 after 5 minutes. And what a game. That was entertaining. And again, Hexy goes for 1, Cozy P for 2 for 3, and that was a really entertaining first game here, and I think we're going to be in for a long one.
And Hexy with the 4 saves as well, having to step up on the defensive end, and I think that has been what's missing from these deep Maryland runs that we've seen in the past. Is Hexy has been so relied on as the primary striker that they are caught out a lot of times when they are a genuine two-way player. They have both sides of the ball to their bag. They can play great defense, they can play stellar offense, and adding an element like Cozy P to jump on in and grab 2 of the 3 Maryland goals in that game, and That's exactly what you need. Take a little bit of share a little bit of the load from Hexy onto Cozy P, and let Turtle just kind of be the facilitator player, be able to play back, play smart on the rotations, get demos. That's exactly what you like to see coming out from Turtle, just being the do-it-all guy for this Maryland roster. And now operating from a lead in the series, see what type of momentum they can build off of this, as Akron Gold, again, we've seen them reverse sweep now twice in the CCS playoff bracket. And I guess the question isn't can they, but we'll see how they respond to now being at an early deficit in this series against a team like Maryland.
4:20 left to go. Now game 2, and remember, Akron has trailed a lot of series, in the past. So if you're an Akron fan, don't panic. It's still really early, but Maryland's had the start they've needed. When you're going to beat a good team like Akron, you've got to start out strong. So Maryland's done that, but if they can take game 2, then Akron's in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Quantity is saying in chat, they were up 2-1 against Akron yesterday, and they came back and won it. So don't sleep on Akron. So I won't put a lot of stake into this 1-0 series lead. Now, if you go up 2-0 and it's a little bit more convincing than a missed touch on defense and an overtime win for Maryland, sure, I'll give a little bit more credit. But again, not discounting what Maryland was able to do, but also not going to discount what Akron can bring back to the table in this series, let alone in this game 2. But basically a carbon copy through that game 1 opening minute and a half. Nothing to do much on the way of offense, but Akron Gold has made the adjustment to spend a lot more time in this Maryland half and try to bleed resources and find some kind of mainstay here in the Maryland half of the field. Milio is able to grab up a mid boost and play behind Jan, who gets 150 out of the corner. Cozy P coming across will grab that corner boost and has Hexy trailing, but a big 50, or big dunk rather, from Oxy will lead to a Jonathan goal, and we do see Akron strike first yet again.
Akron on the board early here in game number 2, and last night LA Tech led Akron 2-1 after 3, and in the summer North Carolina led Akron 2-1 or 3-2 after 5, and they still came back to win. So they reversed up DTSU a couple seasons ago. They trailed Missouri in the Final Four 2-0 and 3-1 at one point, I believe, as well, that season 4 when they won it. Well, they've come from behind a lot. So this Akron team has so much discipline and so much poise that I don't think they really care much about the score.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that they're only really concerned with their own game tally. As long as they make sure that they hit 4 wins before the other team does, they're not too concerned with what a series count is. But Maryland, I think, will be able to operate with a lot of momentum based off of this. Even if you split the opening 2, oh my goodness, Jonathan, that one's just going to fall through. A little bit of a scramble on the back line there for Maryland, and even Hexy, knowing that this was a little bit goofy. It just rolls right underneath Hexy on that front post. But splitting the opening 2 is always important. Turn this to a best of 5. Try your luck going into the latter part of this series, and I think that's exactly what Maryland was hoping to do. At the very least, is to split these opening 2. If you're able to somehow now have a 2-goal swing your way and find yourself in another overtime, hey, even better for it. But I think even with Akron coming back in this game, storming back on offense, going into game 3 1-1 is a much better situation to be in than being down 2-0 against a team of the likes of Akron Gold.
Absolutely, and again, this is Maryland's furthest tournament run ever, so they're playing on a high, and they're coming off a really big, dominant victory over a really good Purdue roster. Akron's had their way in the tournament as well. LA Tech and VCU, obviously, they're opening 2 rounds, and now today in their 3rd round, they got through Indiana in 4. So both teams coming off what was probably more than likely easy victories, 4-0 and 4-1. But now you're playing a formidable opponent such as Maryland or Akron Gold if you're Maryland here. But this should be, I hope it's a long one. I really think it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, again, Cozy P gets it started late in the game here for Maryland, but I think that this is another game 6 situation at a minimum. All right, Maryland, I think, can, with how close these first 2 games have been, if even if the time trickles down to 0 and Maryland doesn't score again, and Akron Gold doesn't score again, it was a scary situation. Milio still keeping it scary here for Maryland, but Jonathan will just park the bus, and we're going to have a little bit of a card dribble in the back of the net and an unorthodox rule 1, but turn this one into a 2v2. here between these two squads. But again, even if this final minute bleeds off the clock and nothing happens, 1-goal games to open it up, and I think that is going to be very indicative of how the rest of this series is going to go.
Absolutely, and I think this 2v2 is going to favor Maryland. With Cozy P and Turtle, I like their odds, but we'll have to wait and see. As Oxy flip reset into the must-see backboard, no double. With Turtle will make the clear come through for the Terps as Milio and Akron lead by 1, entering the last 30 seconds of regulation.
Cozy P, full tank of boost. What do they have in store for us? Double tap back down. Turtle is there, but beat out by Oxy and Milio. Won't be able to find it on the pre-flip. Cozy P will get back in time for the 50. Stall out this counter on the 2v2. And Turtle, one cut as Oxy jump early. Cozy P, stop and start offensive go here. Cozy P will get another good 50. They get side swiped, and now Turtle on low resource has to fight through Oxy. Cozy P catch for that full tank of boost. Once again, Oxy with a dunk, and will just park the bus. Turtle has to keep it alive on zeros here. We'll have the dribble play downfield. Milio goes early. Blick is there. Turtle, one more touch. Gets it past Oxy, and the 2v2 on triple zeros. We're heading to overtime again.
I told you, I think the 2v2 favorites Maryland, and that it did on 0 seconds. And Turtle gets it over Oxy, and now a chance for Maryland to go ahead 2-0.
Man, I was talking so drearily about Maryland, saying down 2-0, if you split the opening games, that's exactly what you want. But now you have an opportunity to own goal, I guess, in overtime, but the defense does come through. Turtle able to save that one away. Now we're back to threes, and it's a different ball game here in overtime. Does Maryland have the ice again? Can they find it through? Cozy P over the top of one, dunk against Oxy, but it will bleed out to Milio. To go with Jonathan and Hexy both contested in that ceiling. Turtle on the back line, jumps early, great pre-jump challenge against Milio. Jonathan plays it back down. Cozy P to sky it up to the sidewall. Hexy, 60 boost in the tank, soft touch, looking to get it past Oxy, will be straight down. Milio with the read, and 45 seconds now into overtime. Maryland has charged forward, but having to play a lot of scary defense on these quick counters coming out from Akron.
It's an open net. Milio gets a miss from Hexy. It's 3-2 with 1-1. Wow. 2
of these 3 goals come off of Hexy misses and just goes right underneath the bottom of Cozy P as well, man.
Wow. That's probably not the nicest way to lose, but your defense has to be poised and disciplined playing Akron, and we said it's gonna be a long series, but that's gotta hurt if you're Maryland. 2 goals, that you concede in a way that your defense just kind of slipped up slightly, and Akron is so good they can take advantage of just minuscule mistakes, and Maryland has to be disciplined. They can't afford to have too many mistakes or it's lights out.
Yeah, it's tough. You force the OT on triple zeros, you get some really good looks on offense, and then the ball just rolls right under. And if you're that extra half second more disciplined on the jump in 2 of those goal scoring situations for Akron, you're winning that one 2-1. You don't even have to go to the OT. But I guess like you said, you have to be solid on defense for all 5 minutes of the game. Ifs and buts are all nice, but we head to game 3 with a tie series, and Akron looking to take the lead here.
1-1 now. Yet another best of 5 down the stretch, just like the Florida-Colorado series. And now it's 3 more wins away from a Final Four to be Maryland's first ever, Akron's 4th consecutive, if they advance.
See, playing it to themselves off the sidewall, but Hexy is there to bang it downfield, but no member immediately available. Cozy P will try to guard this at the midfield line. Turtle, a nice clear again downfield. I'm bounced out back mid for Turtle to clean up their own clear down the pitch. And Maryland get us started with goal number 1 this time in game 3.
A miss there in the corner from, I believe, that was Jonathan in the corner that missed the corner ball. That led to that difficult situation for Oxy on the goal line. It's another first blood for Maryland, and we'll see if Akron can battle back behind again. The series 1-1, though, in game 3, a swing game in our best of 7 here.
Oxy looking to dish it over to Jan, and him touch off the roof of their car will find its way back mid. Oxy fakes out 2 with the touchdown below, and Akron get it right back.
And Akron so fast to respond, and 4:08 remaining. It's Oxy on the goal line, makes it 1-1, and you know, Akron is Akron, and you know, props to Maryland. They're putting up a strong fight, dude. This is going to be entertaining.
It's going to be a very entertaining match, especially if we're going to start trading blows like this back and forth. Opening minute, we've seen 3 goals, which has usually been the final 10-second score line, but now we're seeing it here in the opening minute. I think both teams feeling comfortable enough in this series so far and said, okay, shackles off. We're going all out. 2-1 now, the lead for Maryland.
1 minute down, Milio will trade possession back to Maryland. It's Turtle, demo into Hexy as Akron will take over. Starting from their back corner, 18 boost for Roxy here. The Akron offense trying to find its possession here, but Maryland again have done really good at putting pressure in the midfield on Akron to rotate back defensively, you know, make smarter touches. But you know, the first 2 minutes, almost I guess the first minute and a half, you're off the clock, and you know, Maryland's doing good so far. I like what I'm seeing, and I think they've got a chance to, you know, pull off, although it's not really a crazy upset, but you know, the way that Akron's been, it would be historic as Turtle finds the third.
Hexy with the demo, and then the slight hesitation coming out on the back line. I believe it was Oxy rotating in late, and they just hit that little hitch before the full send on the pre-flip save attempt, and able to slot it through. 2 goals, the lead for Maryland, and their largest of the series so far. Hexy off the kickoff, wanted to make it a third, but, or excuse me, a fourth and 3 to the lead, but will not find it. Now it's Akron with Oxy downfield, rotating out, not wanting to overcommit as they are in a fairly sketchy situation. Jonathan, second touch out of the corner, pinch goes nowhere. Cozy P able to clear out, and now looking to freestyle on the dribble, was looking for that pop right after the catch, could not find the touch to go. Hexy will snipe this one over the top, put it top bins, and there you go. There's the 4th here for Maryland in the lead up to 3.
3:02 to go. Akron's got a minute of goal here, down by 3, and you know, 3 goals is a lot to score, but they do have the clock working for them right now, so they don't have to panic yet. 1 minute of goal is not super difficult, but it is still difficult against a really good Maryland defense that made a lot of mistakes last game, but they have been disciplined way better this game.
Yeah, I like the change of just being able to settle down and slow things down on defense, just that extra touch to not play jumpy, because I think that's the big thing that a lot of teams get caught up in, is they think that they're playing defense fast, but actually they're just playing jumpy. Like there on the back line, everyone trying to rotate too quickly almost turns into a goal for Akron Gold, and still can, as the rebound opportunity is there for Jonathan. Great save from Turtle, using their own woodwork, still getting bumped in net. Xe goes to cover the back wall and let Turtle go get a little bit of boost as they try to clear this one out of their own half. Oxy with a big miss. Milio will grab the full boost but get bumped off the play. Xe takes that extra little half beat to get the 50 against Jonathan, and now Cozy P looks to put it down central. Hexy was looking for the redirect, and another mistake on the back line of Akron. Thought that the final touch from Hexy was going to come through. Instead, it's just a long shot from Cozy P.
Maryland just continuing to, you know, make Akron make mistakes defensively. With 2:07 to go, the score up to 5-1. This is one of those anomaly games where you don't really see Akron get blown out like this, and that Maryland is putting belt to you know what right now.
Yeah, they 100% are, and I think that this is a little bit of a revenge game. They fought so hard to get into overtime. They honestly got to overtime in the first place, not just off the 2v2, but because Akron capitalized on a few silly, dumb mistakes that Maryland was making. And now I think that this is where they're coming out and they're saying, okay, no more mistakes, no more free gimmies to a team like Akron. They don't need the gimme goals. Akron already is a top team in this bracket. We need to tighten up and lock in, and lock in they have. Milio gonna have a free shot though off the double commit on the side wall, and doesn't matter. Two people in goal, and Gold will go ahead and score. Milio snipes it center of net, cuts the lead down to 3 here, just under a minute and a half to go.
5-2, so now 29 seconds a goal here for Akron is 3 seconds off the clock from that minute 30-second check mark. But you know, now Maryland just need to run this clock down. Don't make any mistakes defensively. Don't give Akron any free looks, and then this game is won.
Yeah, I like the fact that we saw Hexy just go for a solo play, and having Turtle and Cozy P back. An all-out attack from Akron might spell a 6 that will. Turtle finds the tuck in and their hat trick here in game number 3. Maryland storming through this one.
107, game 3, just all Maryland in a blowout fashion as well. This is a big-time morale booster for Maryland going into game 4.
100%. They needed this game. A team like Maryland needs the momentum. They need everything that they can have afforded to them in this series. And going up 2-1, yeah, it would be nice if you were able to seal things out in overtime, or and not even have to be there in the first place and have this one be a 3-0 with such a commanding lead. But you do find yourselves up 2-1. And again, I think that a scoreline like this will be not much for the way of Akron Gold. I don't think that this is going to shake them too much, and just they'll chalk it up to a GG go next. But for the way of Maryland, this is going to do a lot for the Maryland camp, being able to sit in the VC and be like, dang, we really just put up 6 against the 3-time national champion. Let's go ahead and do that again. And they're going to come out with the same type of tenacity into game number 4 and hopefully take the 3-1 lead, as looks like we're just going to be playing clock for these final moments. 10 seconds left on it, and we get our final countdown. Cozy P looking for a corner cycle out of his own half. Hexy to deny. Turtle will go ahead and bump their teammate and go ahead and get this one back on the ground. Maryland convincing game number 3, and they take the win.
Emilio in the back. Yeah, looks like a card change probably coming for Emilio going into game 4, as the first 15 minutes going to favor Maryland 2-1.
A great way to start for Maryland. Again, you could be on sweep watch right now if you were able to ice up in that second overtime, but I'm sure that is now a distant memory for Maryland, as they 6-2 Akron Gold in this game number 3, and look forward to having a similar type performance if things go their way in game 4 and try to knock down the bracket favorites.
Yeah, you can call them bracket favorites, but I think, this tournament's stacked. There's so many teams that can win, but nonetheless, it's difficult to, pull this off.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough for Akron Gold for them to now. If this was another close win, I would say no problem. Akron Gold can trade a game, but with blowout wins, I'm sure that Akron Gold, they have the experience on their side to be able to just kind of drop rough losses like this and forget about it and go on to the next. But that it's going to be that much harder because of the momentum for Maryland that this gives them. Maryland is going to be an even tougher team going into this one, so need to have a really, really big lock-in here for Akron. Go ahead and get back to their winning ways here in this game 4.
If this gets to 3-1, then I would say Akron's in trouble. Despite how many comebacks this team's pulled off, I would say this is going to go Maryland's way if this gets to 3-1. This feels like a must-win for Akron, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that in the past, when they've been at these deficits, it hasn't been against teams like Maryland. We have not seen a team the caliber of Maryland. Sure, you could argue that ETSU is at a similar level, but I think that Maryland right now, the way that their season has gone, both in CCS and nationally, this team is too tough to go down 3-1 against. You cannot try to win 3 straight games against this Maryland team and have it go your way. You need to play some of the best Rocket League you've ever played in your life to go ahead and win 3 straight against Maryland. So this is must win. This is the pendulum game here for Akron. And the question is, are they able to step up to the task? Jonathan out of the corner was looking for that redirect. Hexy again on low boost. And one thing that does scare me about this Maryland defense is they're able to get these saves. They've been able to play very well throughout last game and now in the opening minutes of this one on low boost. But when is that going to crack? You have to think that Akron's going to take advantage of that.
Right, and Maryland only 2 losses all season, 1 to San Diego State, which they won't get a chance to get revenge on with Missouri eliminating them. But the other loss came in the conference tournament to Purdue in the Illinois in the semifinal, who also didn't advance that far. But they did get to get revenge on Purdue in that previous round 4-1 fashion. And now for Maryland here, they went 8-0 in the toughest league in the country. Like, they have played a difficult schedule, and now it's paying off big time when it matters most.
100%. They've had the reps throughout this competition. and they've played tough competition going into this match as well. And I think we're getting back to game 1, game 2 vibes as first 2 minutes have elapsed, and Maryland, they have looked the more dominant team from the eye test and just looking like they are playing a lot more solid defense, but few options down the field, few opportunities as well. A demo traded on the back line of Akron Gold will be advantageous here to Maryland as they get their third member back to play some defense for them. Turtle, soft clear out, met by Jonathan. Jonathan coming in, will not find the bump, and Cozy P, no boost, just has to fling it downfield, but Oxy is there to maintain possession and control in this Maryland half here for Akron Gold. Dimes up, Milio will put it center of net, and Akron Gold find the early lead.
Moves across the clock, 1-0 to score, and Oxy gets that last touch over Turtle there to put it 1-0 in front for an open target, and now Akron in front 1 with 2:22 to play in regulation of game 4.
Maryland have shown that they have the late game ability, the late game prowess to find something. Another drop shot from Milio will be in and extend the lead to 2, and the job just got that much tougher here for Maryland to come back in this game 4.
2:15, it's a 7-second 2-0 run, and Akron, when that offense finds its rhythm, Somber, they're hard to stop, and Maryland now gonna have to find a way to stop the bleeding.
You do. If this game starts to get out of hand with 2 minutes left, we talk about time and it being a factor. Right now, it is not. Maryland can find a way with themselves back into this game. We've seen the 0-second drill come to fruition already once this series between these two teams. But it's, can you get one on the board, or is this just going to be an onslaught from this Akron offense? And so far, it's been just that. A lot of shots rolling through, a lot of pressure out of the corners. Milio loses out the touch, but will get a dime back up off the backboard. Looking for the dunk down, could not find purchase on that shot. Now Cozy P comes in, able to disrupt Oxy here after a couple of bumps. Turtle with a nice 50, and now Hexy again having to rotate in. Cozy P, the only one with boost and trying to dribble it up onto their own backboard. All that time spent trying to grab possession. Jonathan is quick to it. Hexy now tops up the boost tanks and looks to now carry it out. Oxy at the midfield will get one beat. Cozy P plays it past another. Turtle with a bump downfield, and now Maryland trying to get aggressive here, but it will not pay out as Jonathan quick turn, challenge, and in for goal number 3 here for Akron Gold.
1:11 left to go. It's Jonathan on goal 3, and now both teams kind of taking turns, kind of running away with the game.
Yeah, I think that again, this is the Akron response game. You need to have a game like this to shut down Maryland. If it was another close game, again, it's always about the mental and the copium and what teams can say after it. And you 6-2 a team and then come out and say, oh, that one almost on in, but the crossbar denies it. But after this now, that 6-2, hey, we 6-2 to Akron, it's not gonna hit the same in the comms here for Maryland, as they're currently down 4-0 against Akron Gold in this game 4.
There's 48 seconds left. It's Milio back to Oxy on the back pass. We'll find a fourth, and what a couple of 10 minutes. I mean, teams taking turns just having their way with each other.
Good stalemate kickoff. Cozy P has the boost and off the ceiling. Soft touch. We're gonna pass it over to their teammate waiting on the sidewall in Turtle. Hexy, last man back. Milio pre-jumped by Cozy P. We'll get the bump, but Milio sticks with the play and finds a good 50 downfield. Now Oxy, 30 seconds left, looking for just a few touches as Akron Gold maybe looking for a 5th, maybe looking to just be happy with playing time here in the Maryland half. But
there's 5
again. That's the 5th off the sidewall. Jonathan, 17 seconds left, and this game has been all but over for a while now here for Maryland, and they look to go back to work and see if they can claim the series lead once again, or if Akron will finally find their way back into the lead.
I think Maryland now are like Akron last game. They want to go next. They're ready to get this game over with, and they want to play the clock out. They don't want Akron to score again. They're ready to just go to game 5, tied 2-2, and bad games happen. Maryland and Akron trade out those bad games here early on in this series, and hopefully this best of 3 down the stretch is entertaining. Yeah,
it's pretty insane to see. Again, Akron Gold, they have the mental. They've been around the scene long enough that a 6-2 scoreline is not going to shake them. But I did not expect 5-0 to be the score of the following game. I figured we'd be in for another tight contest, but I guess Akron Gold just showing their mettle here in game number 4 as we go back to equal in the series.
We have our first Final Four contestant. It's Wichita State knocking off Missouri in 5, 4-1 the final. Ooh. The Shockers in the tournament era, first Final Four in program history.
Good on Wichita State finding some success here in CCS. I know they've been a very up and down team nationally in other leagues they play in, but now they're starting to hit their stride, and this is the right time to do so. National championship on the line, top 4 appearance, the first in program history. So shout out to them, and I look forward to seeing what the Shockers can do on this run that they're currently on.
Well, tomorrow they'll get the winner of JMU or Ball State. So more than likely Ball State, Wichita State, but we'll see if JMU can knock off the Cardinals. You can't put it past them at this point. Any team left in the top 8 is a really good team. So, we never, that's why these games get played, and we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we will see who comes out victorious on the other end and who's going to be slated to play tomorrow. But here, right in front of us, we got game 5 ready to kick off. And Nation, I said at the top of this, you said it as well. This one's going to be a tight one. I said 6 is a minimum. And it looks like we are in for that. But after this game, whoever's in front, it is up to them. I feel like if it's going to go to 7 or not, you need to be able to find 2 in a row, or else we get to see the best thing in Rocket League, a Game 7 on Champions Field. Akron getting a little bit of that momentum back after that momentous game number 4 win. Just coming out and 5-0ing Maryland and responding well to their own blowout win that Maryland had. And we'll see what Game 5 has in store for us.
Game 5, a deciding game for a 3-2 lead. And in tournament era, Stompers, Akron has never trailed entering Game 6. So we'll see if that comes true here tonight, if this one goes to Maryland.
Also, BK in chat confirming that Ball State has taken the 4-0 victory over James Madison. So we will be seeing a Ball State versus Wichita State in that matchup tomorrow, as that one going to rattle off the post here for Maryland. Could have been the opening goal, but again, I think that we're in store for another late goal, and then somehow the floodgates open as no second touch from Oxy. Milio going to put another shot on target, but Hexy, again, low boost is there, and that's something that Akron really harped on in the last game, was the low boost defense. You need to be able to find a way to control boost and need to find a way to contain Milio, as he's on a hot streak now.
I guess Akron showed once, because they had to reverse the PTSU 2 seasons ago, but 3:12 left to play, and Akron strike first here in Game 5.
They continue that scoring streak, and now over the last almost 7 minutes of gameplay, it has been 6-0 the way of Akron Gold, and see if we can see a final response from Maryland. It will be a clear out now, and Cozy P out of the corner grabs that boost, and Oxy 50 by their own teammate in Jonathan, and Maryland won't be able to capitalize on that fact though. Milio again looking to land on that back wall and get it back mid. Cozy P able to intercept, but Jonathan with a good pinch back out. Hexy here downfield. Turtle was finding their way down to try to track it, but Milio was there with a catch and another shot on target. Cozy P uses their own woodwork to find the save, and Oxy takes to the skies. Cozy P dunk over one. Hexy for that touchback out mid. Turtle is there, but so is Oxy. Oxy back down to Jonathan. Jonathan fakes the shot, leaves up from Milio. They're able to hit a quick little U-turn and put another shot on target. Halfway through this game number 5, and it's 1-0 still for the way of Akron.
2:15 left to go. Akron Gold leading 1, entering the final 2 minutes and change here. There's Maryland again. Now it's another 2-minute drill, just like game 1. They were able to tie it back up in game 1. We'll see if they can get it complete yet another 2-minute drill here to get game 5 back to level. As again, the winner of this will have match point. The loser will face elimination starting from game 6.
Milio and Jan both combined for that clear out, end up 50ing each other just a little bit. No power behind it, so no travel down the pitch. Hexy takes out Cozy P a little bit with that second touch and plays it underneath their own teammate. Now looks to play possession. Cozy P, very little boost, but we'll grab that corner and now look to go to work on the ceiling. Good 50 down, but Milio to contain at the midfield. Turtle The challenge to threaten and push that one into the corner. Cozy P is there, dodges the bump, feeds it to Hexy. Hexy now will take a boost. Demo at the midfield takes away the passing option. Will have to be a solo effort. Cozy P behind the play. Now Jonathan clear out. Soft touch met by Cozy P. Flip reset, taking it below Milio. Just use the wave dash off the reset. Now Turtle gets their hands into the mix here for offense. Hexy tries to keep it alive, goes the wrong direction, and now final 60 seconds, and Akron playing downfield, looking for the secure here. Oxy keeps it alive outside of that Maryland net, but will not find a goal, and still fighting as Maryland down 1-0.
48 seconds. Florida, South Carolina still going as well. That's the only other game still going at this time, as 2 regional finals are already reported. Ball State, Wichita State moving on. The right side of your bracket already done. Wichita State plays Ball State tomorrow. And now the winner of this will play the winner of Florida and South Carolina to take the night off tomorrow at 3 Eastern. As 30 seconds remain on the clock in regulation, Maryland have got to score here and now.
Milio gonna be able to find 2 touches here. Turtle wins out the foot race for the boost, but Oxy has a full tank. Plays over 1. Might be able to find the challenge against Cozy P2. Cannot, but finds a good enough pressure. Go ahead and keep this one at the midfield. Hexy back up to Cozy P. Cozy P plays it back down to the ground. Dunked by Oxy. Turtle has to keep it contained in Akron territory here. Big time fake. Back pass from Cozy P will miss Hexy. And a slight miscomm and a mistouch there leads to Akron Gold taking this one to match point heading to game 6.
Now 2 straight games for the Zips. Or, yeah, 2 straight games here for Akron. Now going into game 6, Somber, what do you say the odds are of game 7? Do we believe Maryland will lock back in, or does Akron have this series wrapped up here?
I think after a close game like this, Maryland can lock back in. It didn't take a lot. I mean, only 4 shots the way of Maryland. If you're able to break out of your own half, again, a lot of low boost defense. When you're getting these saves and you're able to only clear it out to the midfield and have no quick follow-up because you just have nothing in the tank, you can't get to a ball quickly. You need to find a way to conserve boost from at least one member to threaten Akron Gold. And I think that 1 or 2 of those plays off the save on low boost, if you have one person with 50 boost in the tank, you're equalizing in that game. You're getting that one to OT, or you're even winning it 2-1. But we'll see here on Neo Tokyo if Maryland is able to take us the distance, or if Akron Gold will be threatened but not beaten, make their way on through to the next round.
Maryland, do or die, facing elimination. One final chance, as Akron has one safety net opportunity to put away Maryland in game 6 before Akron will also face elimination in game 7. Shall Maryland win here?
Jonathan gets a nice bump, still stagnant here in the Akron goal half. Eventually Oxy will take over and find this one down the pitch. Milio 2 touches out of the corner. Back mid is Jonathan, finds the dunk pass 2, and Akron Gold kick us off in the first 44 seconds with a goal.
4:16 to go, and it's Jonathan off the first and almost skidded off Milio's car there. But 4:16 left, and there's the opener as Akron finds first blood for a 4th time in this series.
See if they're able to continue this high output offense on the way of Akron Gold over these last 2 games. A little bit lacking in the last one, but still 5-0 in the one previous to that. If Maryland is able to respond, as they've been shut out for 2 straight games, and need to break the drought here. Turtle putting a challenge to Oxy. Cozy P again, nothing in the tank. They get bumped into the save, and now with 12 boost, look to feed Hexy at the midfield. Jonathan, great intercept. Cozy P will keep it alive. Oxy to back up the defense, and we'll find the clear down. Milio looking for the redirect. No read from Oxy on the double tap, and now it's a 2v1. Cozy P and Hexy looking to chase down Jonathan despite the contact, saves that flip, and we'll find the save out. Now everyone from Maryland having to go all the way back as that all-out attack did not connect. They're still down 1-0 and have to fight through their own half to try to get back into this one.
Oxy redirect almost with a big time save there for Turtle and the defender, but Akron's offense, when it is locked in and they're playing at a high level, they are hard to stop. And Maryland's defense has had one hell of a performance tonight, stopping a really good Akron offense. The offense finds one. It's Cozy P. We're tied.
And that bump in net, ever crucial, and that's something that we've been seeing lacking. And again, mainly credit that to you're not able to escape your own half. You're not able to get these these bump plays downfield on the transition because you just have no pace behind you. But that time they have two players up with plenty of boost, and Turtle connects on the aggression, and they find the equalizer. Milio off the kickoff will find the touch into the corner. Hexy with a long clear downfield. Oxy is back though. Will not be able to find the initial read. Will play the bounce up. Now leaving it for Jonathan, playing it out of the corner, looking for a second touch. Cannot find it. Now Hexy. Again, low boost for Hexy, but two topped up the tanks behind him, and now Turtle, big pinch downfield. Hexy looked to trail the play and transition into that first man. 50 against Oxy. Cozy P is up, has a bump in net, needs the double tap to go, puts it far post, and Cozy P, credit from Hexy to get the bump and stick with it in net to put pressure on Milio, but Cozy P with the flashy finish to give Maryland the lead.
What a shot there. Beautiful flip reset into the right corner. And now Maryland have a chance to send us to game 7 here. If they can hang on for another half of Rocket League, but no, it's Akron. We got to see if this Maryland defense has enough discipline to hang on.
Yeah, that has been the key here. Are they disciplined enough to not concede after this? And there's been some sketchy plays, to say the least, for this Maryland defense. That time almost came out again, but Hexy comes in, gets the bump and the save. Jonathan denied in the skies by Cozy P. Oxy follow-up will find the back wall. Now Hexy falls off Turtle and takes the play downfield. About 30 boosts the tank, look for a bump to cause disruption. Cozy P at the midfield, keeps it contained in Akron territory. No touch coming out by Jonathan. They rotate on back. Oxy already upfield, awaiting the pass. Is able to connect, but needs Milio to finish it. Hexy with a nice interception, and now Akron Gold have to take this one all the way back and go coast to coast once again.
South Carolina's up 5-1 in whatever game they're in right now, so Florida might be in trouble. So they should also be at the end, because they started before this series, so they should be in game 6 or 7 right now. But a minute 30 left to go, and you know, if South Carolina lose and Akron fall here, all 4 1 seeds are gone.
That would be a absolutely electric final day of Rocket League to be played, but we will see here. Akron now threatening, no pass play available. Oxy late to the play. Turtle is there, and comfortable save out to the corner, but again, Milio is able to be there to keep this one contained into the corner. Again, we go, and another minute to go. Demo starting to come through for Akron Gold. Might open up a scoring opportunity. Oxy with a bump in the back of the net, courtesy of Jonathan. Hexy is able to come back around, and they come away unscathed for now. Ball back mid. Jonathan shot on target. Oxy chasing, and that's exactly what Akron needed. They tie up this ball game. And
Oxy turns that open net and brick into a path straight to center field and finds the bump on Cozy P, which opens up the net for Jonathan. He makes up for his mistake, and he gets it back to a tying goal. 43 to go. We're tied at 2.
Maryland now have to fight. It is going to be Akron with the momentum here. They scored, and vibes are going to be feeling good that they got this one knotted back up. Jonathan, pinch goes high. Oxy is there. Turtle able to get a slight skim back down on it. Cozy P challenging. Pass back mid to Hexy. Shoots it center of net, and Hexy gets the lead right back for the Terps.
28 to go. Hexy hero ball. Late game situations. Counted good for 3. 28 to go, and the Terps lead 1.
Under 30 seconds. See if they can hold here. That is exactly what you are hoping for. Just hold on for dear life. Maybe find a fourth instead. Cozy Peak hitting it on net and finds it off the kickoff. They get their cushion here late, game number 6.
24 to go. Akron down by 2, and I think we might be well on our way to a game 7.
Barring a disaster here, Maryland should be able to hold on, but Akron Gold might pull out some trickery. Turtle with a good 50 will make this job harder here. 20 seconds for Akron Gold to try to come back. Harsh bounce down. Milio will find the skim. Back out mid. Oxy's there. Shoots it on an open net. And hold on, nation. We have a game on our hands. 3-4 now. The score line. Akron Gold is coming charging through.
12 to go. Down by 1. Time still on the clock. You can't count Akron out when there's time still on the clock. Maryland's defense has got to be disciplined on this kickoff. No shenanigans. Play smart. Milio with a full tank. What will he do? He'll go sky high here. It's taken wide left by Hexy. 5 to go. Maryland trying to kill it here. Akron with one more opportunity as Oxy feeds Jonathan. It's Milio there. There's the kill. They got game 7.
And that was dangerous, but Oxy had Emilio over to the left, hit that ball a little too hard. Emilio had to try to turn to catch back up to the play. And my goodness, Cozy P with the hat trick to carry their team to a Game 7 against Akron Gold. One final shot on Champions Field to knock off the tournament favorites, the defending champions, the three-peat champs here in CCS. Do the Terps have it in them to do what is seemingly impossible here in Game 7?
Number 1, South Carolina. Number 2, Florida, also heading to the deciding Game 7, just getting underway right now. As USC Florida tied 3-all entering Game 7, just like this Akron, Maryland series. The left side of the bracket has delivered 2 Game 7s in the regional final.
Cinema from the left side of the bracket, and we wouldn't have it any other way here for CCS, but we do have kickoff for Game 7 between Maryland and Akron Gold, the 3-time champs on the ropes here against the Terps. And now Oxy almost got the cut pass off the dish from Jonathan, and early is Akron Gold trying to strike as they know they need to operate with a lead. Jonathan, sidewall bounce, goes back mid. Cozy P will find the clear out. Back mid off the dish from Oxy, and again, the shot going to be just off target here to open things up for Akron Gold, but 2 good looks gone to the wayside here for the Zips. Miscommunication at the midfield, and will be a free ball for Akron to take back over. Oxy out of the corner has the boost, but Hexy soft touch back out mid. Jonathan calls off the play, and Turtle and Cozy P combine for a great save off of the back line on the Terps half, and this one going to stalemate here at the midfield line.
Now Akron set to re-enter. They'll cross the neutral zone, and Turtle immediate bomb back to the Akron goal line. And this opening minute has been highly entertaining. A couple of good looks from Maryland, a couple of elite opportunities for Akron. But these defenses now are going to be battle tested for the next 4 minutes here as these offenses try to go to work to find any break in the chainmail of armor that these defenses have put up tonight.
Imperative thing here for both sides, not more so for Akron Gold, is to just not play scared. Don't play jumpy on the back line. Got to be settled. Got to have nerves of steel here in Game 7, especially for Akron Gold. If you show any sign of weakness, Maryland will capitalize, and with you being the number 1 overall seed and defending your title for a 4th straight time, you need to find a way to ice this game up. Infield pass denied by Turtle. Cozy P bites through another 50. It will go the way of Hexy over on the opposite side wall. Has the boost, but not the best initial touch. Cozy P will drop it back down. Looking for Hexy back on that dish. Turtle keeps it here in the Akron corner. Cozy P, good 50 back out. Hexy at the midfield line will rip a shot on target. Jonathan to save. Turtle on the follow-up. Skies it high. Cozy P is there, but Oxy will find the clear out. Now Akron Gold find a little bit of room to breathe.
Half the game nearly gone here in regulation. Game 7 still tied 0-0 as Emilio into the backboard will be met by Turtle here to be fed back to Oxy. It's again Akron's offense trying to stay on the field here as Jonathan keeps the offense towards the corner, and his teammates are going to have to go to work here. This offense against Somber is highly productive, but Maryland's defense has been lights out for a lot of this series and a lot of this tournament, and a deep run as far as they've ever been before. And Akron, again, a 4th-time tournament defense title on the line here.
Leo miss out of the corner, but will be a pass back from Oxy. Clear out from Hexy. Find its way downfield only as far as Jonathan, though. Again, Hexy looking to go down the pitch, this time with a follow-up. Cannot connect on the 50. Hexy gets the bump. Turtle cuts off Cozy P. Could have been an open net as Oxy was shading towards that corner, and now Turtle puts a shot on target. Backflip save from Oxy will sky it high. Teammate bumped in Cozy P back at the mid. Going to make things awkward for just a moment here for Maryland. Demo in the back corner will spell a blessing here for Akron as everyone Akron with boost. Jonathan over the top was looking for the double. Hexy does well to catch this one and play with possession out of their own corner. Looking for Jonathan, fakes past one, almost got a second, but a good challenge comes out. Now Oxy free down the pitch, but Turtle will clutch up on defense, send it to the backboard. Jonathan infield pass denied by Turtle, and we're now at a minute 15 left in this game, Nation. Something has to give.
Eventually, or else we're going to have overtime in Game 7, tied 0-0, with 67 seconds on the clock here. As again, Florida, South Carolina also still going. Is 1 minute remaining, and I'm nervous watching this. I'm not even playing.
Yeah, I'm nervous for both of these teams. I have no stake either way, but man, this is nail biting. to say the least, and it's been very back and forth. Again, both teams have had plenty of opportunities. Jonathan going to present another one here for Akron Gold, but the defenses have been absolutely stellar for both of these teams. And again, despite how good the defenses have looked, Maryland with these low boost plays, it still scares me to see these clears not come fully through, and then someone's awkward on defense. But Akron has yet to capitalize. Under 30 seconds to go now. Are we destined for a 0-0 golden goal in game 7? Hexy, big time 50, bump on Turtle, but no one there for Akron Gold. Cozy P, pop over one, but deleted off the pitch. Jonathan, full tank of boost, puts the shot on. It's going to be just far left. Now Turtle, dunked by Emilio. Cozy P, skies it downfield. Jonathan is there, able to punt it back down. This one's going to be a high bouncer. Oxy, one more opportunity. Tries to get it back over to Jonathan, but before the shot comes through, we see overtime on game 7, Champions Field. Akron Gold need 1. Maryland need that same number to go ahead and knock off the #1 overall team. Who has the ice?
Game 7, 0-0, 1-0 going to be your final score. Just a matter of who will score here, as Akron and Maryland is spotting the Final Four. Akron trying to defend a national title for 3 straight seasons. Can they get the job done?
Bit of a double commit, but not anything too egregious. Demo in the back of the net. Emilio will have to catch back up to this one. Oxy looking for another bump. Emilio tries to get it back mid, will successfully do so. Big time dunk from Jonathan, and a follow-up on the 50 as well. Turtle on no boost, trying to fight through their own corner. Again, Maryland on low boost. Emilio trying to capitalize. The bump came through on your own teammate. Almost spelled disaster for Maryland, but they survive for now. Almost a minute into overtime, and Akron has been in full control. Hexy with boost. Has Cozy P on the sidewall, opts to play it past Oxy on their own solo effort. Another big 50 out of the corner. Jonathan jumps early, avoiding the bump. Cozy P with a good 50. Oxy is there to take away any type of read. Turtle 50 down. Do they have one more read? They do on the dunk. Cozy P not able to finish the play, and Akron Gold get away. And now they look to counter downfield. Oxy with a shot on target. 2 go. The save is through. Turtle goes, and going to be a save coming out from Turtle again on the follow-up shot. And Maryland almost iced this one, but Akron was back on the attack, and now they look to battle this one out the midfield.
That was their best chance. One Emilio fires on target. No good. It's Akron. A couple of opportunities here. One more chance in the corner. It's no good. Broken up by Hexy. And we play on a couple of elite opportunities gone by the wayside.
Turtle. Great clear off the sidewall,
Wow.
but it'll be Emilio off the read to snipe it. And Akron Gold are tested to a game 7 overtime, and they get it done. The tournament favorites stay alive, and it is Akron Gold moving on. And GG's to Maryland for giving us one heck of a series.
Well, I'm glad we pivoted to this series, Somber, because that just delivered probably one of the greatest tournament series we've ever watched. That was cinema. That's why you watch CCS. This is why you come out on any given Saturday or Sunday to watch Tournament Rocket League. That was thrilling.
Yeah, that has to be one of the nerviest Rocket League games I've ever spectated. Like you said, we weren't on the pitch, we weren't playing, we had nothing on the line there, and no stakes to this game. But I was like, my hands are clammy, my heart is racing.
My hands are
I don't know what to do with myself right now.
My hands are literally shaking right now. I'm not even playing. I'm just sitting here talking, and my hands are literally. My nerves are still not gone. I'm just like at shock of what I just watched. That was crazy. Wow.
Cinema.
I'm happy that we pivoted this series. We're still waiting on that Florida South Carolina final score to come in here. Looks like it's done. There's just no report quite yet, but that series I think just wrapped up in game 7. But we're waiting on obviously that report to come in. I'm hoping I can. Stay live here for momentarily while that score comes through.
Yeah, I would be interested because game 7s on for both the sides on this side of the bracket, man, that's gonna be nervy. Again, I thought that South Carolina was gonna win it in 6-5. I forgot what I said in the green room, but I thought USC was going to take it. I would be really happy for Florida if they make it this far, but man, I still just can't get over how Akron was able to end that. Maryland had that shot too. Cozy P just rushed it just that extra little bit on that dunk on the goal line. We were about a half second of decision making away from Maryland winning that game 7, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and Maryland had a chance to call game too. They had a wide open net and bricked it. I mean, they had multiple opportunities to put that
Both
series
teams
away
did,
and call a game, and that's Akron has the ice, sure, but that was probably one of the greatest tournament series I think I've ever watched.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was a thriller. That was amazing.
That was a lot of fun. We're just sitting here waiting on that South Carolina-Florida result to come in here momentarily, but I know the series is done. I just don't know the score. So we're waiting on that to come in. But tomorrow we'll kick things off with Akron versus the winner of that Florida-South Carolina series at 3 Eastern Time, followed by Wichita State and Ball State at 4 Eastern, and then the 5 p.m. Eastern national title game.
Yeah, also Taboon in chat saying he did not know Maryland had it like that. Maryland has been on a 4-3 Florida.
Florida
we get an update
advances
from the chat.
So
wow,
Florida wins that one in 7. They'll take on Akron tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Akron and Florida, your Final Four, alongside Wichita State, Ball State.
Akron Gold is going to have to go back-to-back teams playing some of the best Rocket League that they have ever played in their careers. So this is the gauntlet, to say the least, for Akron Gold on this side of the bracket.
If Florida picks off yet another one, it's 3 1-seeds gone before the Final Four. Now 1 seed remaining. It's Akron Gold, and you've got Ball State at 2, Wichita State at 2, and Florida at 2. So 3 2s and a 1 playing tomorrow for a national title. Akron has always selected to go first as the highest seed remaining. They do get to pick the order, and I believe that pick should be they're going first tomorrow. They've always picked to go first, so I'd assume tomorrow's going to be no different. At 3 Eastern, Akron will take on Florida, followed by Wichita State and Ball State. And you've got your national title game tomorrow at 5 Eastern. So again, everyone that tuned in yesterday and tonight, appreciate you guys so much for coming in and watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for one final day of CCS Season 7.